See, that's like I had a moment. This was 2004.
And I hope they do come out again. You know what I'm
Just so
saying?
you can be like, no, like there's nothing wrong with friendly rivalries. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Like I would get into a friendly rivalry with you guys just because I think those kind of things push us. You know what I mean? So like I start putting out a book and I'm like, if I put in something like "Where's Twilight Star at?" You're like, "Oh, for real?" Like that's what like here's our book. And I'm like, okay, I like it. See, like that's fun. But when you actually try to demean people, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But
I've never done that.
Yeah, see, that's wrong. Like there's no two ways about it. I've seen people whose work I would never publish, not ever. But am I going to tell you that you're no good? No, I'm going to tell you this is what I want to see you do, so that maybe you can get there. Now, if you get there, that's awesome. That wins for you and me because not only have you gotten better, but I know about you and I can use you. So this works. Like this is perfect, and I might even be able to do it for like on the cheap side because I'm giving you a shot. Like, hey, remember that time when I told you shoot and you did it? Can you do that for this book right here? Yeah. Let me see what you got. You know, but all right. So 2004. This was me like didn't want to do art, scared of it. Always have been for years. And
he's actually good.
Yeah, I'm terrified of my stuff, man.
I just didn't do those battles.
Yes,
terrified. That now I'm talking about the Hulk.
Dude, that Hulk piece.
Yeah, down there in Derby City.
Not even my best stuff, man. That's what makes it so bad.
I've seen a couple of yours.
Yeah, I've still been scared of it though. Like it's just been this thing that I was terrified of. But
yeah, I've never drawn in front of a crowd like that.
The TMNT stuff that you've been doing.
That has been killing it right now.
Yeah, that's good
I've
stuff,
had a lot of fun with
man. Because you have a style.
Yes.
It looks different than other people's Teenage Mutant Ninja
It looks closer to the original.
It does. I actually pulled that from more of the original stuff, like really. But like back then, we had started a group called the CO, and it was basically a collection of artists that the whole goal was we were going to put the team on, and that's how everybody was going to get individual shine because we were going to promote the group. Our first incarnation of it was at Wizard World Chicago, 2004. And day one, it was myself and my buddy Dan. The rest of the team wasn't going to get there till the next day. So we're there, we're drawing, and the whole plan was whatever we draw, whatever we get, money-wise, we're going to donate to Heroes Initiative, which was Actor at the time. And so that first day was the first time I had ever made $100 off of my artwork. Really? I made $116 doing sketches. Dude, it was amazing. Like, I mean, you're talking, you couldn't tell me shit. I'm feeling it all. I'm like, yes, yeah, $100. I did that. That's me by myself. You know, like I was kind of hard, like for real. So that night at BarCon, I'm still, feeling it. I'm still feeling everything. And so I see Joe Quesada walk by.
Yeah.
And he's got this look on his face, like he's looking for something, like somebody. He's looking, and so I'm still feeling it. So I'm like, Joe, who are you looking for, man? And he goes, somebody important, and keeps walking. Now the other people that was there, they was like, oh, he dissed you so hard. He didn't. That wasn't his intent. You could tell. It was just like he's still looking for this person. Right, but I'm looking for somebody important, and he kept moving. But that has stuck in my head for 10 years, that I need to make myself important to Joe Quesada. So that one day, when he's looking around for somebody, he stops and goes, Vic! There you are, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That is the goal of my career. I don't even care if I never actually work for him. I just want to be somebody that he goes to look for one time. That's all I need. But like you, that motivation, that's what it was about. Somebody tried to come in, you play me short. Well, I got to step it up. I got to play.
That's what I use that. That's what I use to drive.
Heck yeah.
And I think any artist would, any real artist, true artist, someone downs your stuff, you're like, all right.
I can't tell you how many.
And then come back like, now what?
Yeah, like I can't tell you how many creators that like I'm cool with. Like I'm definitely friends with folks that I think I'm better than art-wise. I can produce better artwork. Maybe I haven't done it, but I believe that I can. And the issue for me is you have a higher standing than I do. Well, why? Because if I can do this better than you, then why am I not doing this better than you? And that's what has motivated me in a huge way. That's why I've made the contacts that I have. I've taken the roads that I've taken because I'm like, forget, you're not actually better than me. Like, you know who I am? You about to find out. Like, that's how I've been trying to, play this game. And so that's what has motivated me so much. I don't want people that are not as good as me to be rated as better than me. So I'm gonna put in, and I'm gonna make sure that people recognize what I can do. But at the same time, I will not take my position or anything and make somebody else feel lesser than I am. Never that. Like, you know, if you personally look at what I do and you're like, dang it, like, I gotta figure this dude out. Like, he's killing it right now. That's different. That's motivation.
Yeah.
But at no point will you ever hear me say out of my mouth, you're weak, I'm sweet, get away from it. Like, you'll never hear that.
That's pretty much every show. I've watched this dude. Every show, and you can say it too,
Yeah.
I know you've witnessed it. You go by, you try to go through the aisle, and all of a sudden you're like, man, where's this crowd at? And they're always in front of the dude's table. Always.
But it's,
I mean, he's just
man.
like, he's
that's the
he's
never not
like a
gonna
ringleader.
Never
He's like, come on,
Ringmaster.
I'm definitely a ringmaster. But that's the thing, like, I don't have to knock anybody else down in order to make myself feel big. The moment I have to do that, then I'm not that big at all.
Yeah.
Which is, like I said, which is why I still, anytime you send me a message, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna come support, because you guys are doing stuff. You know, one way or the other, you're putting stuff out on the page that needs to be supported, that needs to be
You should have
recognized.
hit me up.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'll put it out there. I'll put it out there.
Hey.
I'll put the, you make me, you lucky there's no signal down here. We'll go
I
outside and
got
I will show you. In the Ohio Comics Creators Group, I made a list of who all was in there, and your name is on it. This was, you got a free 3-day pass that was waiting for you.
Man,
Free.
if I had seen it, I'd have did it.
Free
You know
one.
this.
Free one.
Wizard World.
Wizard World over in Columbus.
I had,
We can
like, I had it listed for showcasing Ohio-based talent. And
There you go.
Springfield was one spot that did not have anybody represented. Didn't have nobody represented.
Damn.
So,
Well, now you know to show up next year.
right.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause we're gonna make it happen.
Email me, you know me.
I got you. I got you.
Email the studio.
I got you. We'll make it happen.
Going? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go.
We will make it happen.
Then we'll have to sit up there and draw straws and who gets to go.
Actually, I mean, that was one of the things that Wizard did so nicely. They offered free passes, like, of their own. Like, all I had to do was give them a list of who was going, so you wouldn't even have to choose who was going. All you gotta do is to say, this is the names, okay.
Really?
Yeah, like they like at first, because I was nervous about whether or not people would have to pay to get in, but I talked to them and they're like, no, we can take care of it. You send us the list and we'll give them a pass. I was like, oh, a day pass? That's cool. And they said, no, we'll give them a 3-day. I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, yeah. 3 days makes it.
Yeah.
For them, 1 day or 3.
Like, this is a lot of people. They're like,
3 is 3.
right, like, no, that's cool. And I'm like, word. Well, that's cool. So they did that. And like literally, like had a list of.
That's good though. That's one positive thing I've heard about.
Dude, I'm telling you, like all the negative stuff that you heard of Wizard is not as bad.
Yeah.
Because, okay, here's the thing. A lot of people look at Wizard as a corporation. When I think of Wizard, I think of Peter Katz. I think of Courtney McVickers. I think of Jenna. I think of Jonathan. I think of so many different actual people that I know because they're the actual workers behind it. A lot of times you'll get folks that are like, oh, it's a big corporation, I can't get in. I'm going to tell you right now, I actually just pitched a few weeks ago, I probably shouldn't even say this, but a few weeks ago I pitched a relaunch of Wizard Magazine to Stephen James.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I literally like emailed him and was like, hey, I'm
That
in
name
New
sounds
York.
familiar.
Oh yeah, he's Garrett's
Yeah.
younger brother.
Okay. All right.
So he's like
Just think
president of marketing or something like that. I pitched it to him. I had his contact. I reached out to him. I was going to be in New York that weekend, and so I was like, hey, can we meet up? And he's like, well, I don't know. I've got like a lot of stuff going on. What do you want to meet about? So I ran it by him real quick, and again, it's a big idea. This is Wizard Magazine. Like Wizard Magazine used to be the comic book news source. Right, you know what I mean? So I pitched it to him, and like two hours later, he hits me back up and is like, listen, I ran it through the team. It's just not something we can put the brand behind right now, you know, but thanks for trying. So for me, I'm like, hey, that's a lot of positives. It's like, one, he didn't immediately write back like, no, you big dummy, you can't. You know, he didn't do that. He actually took it to his people, ran numbers, you know, they talked about it, like, well, you know, we can't really do this, da-da-da. And so then he took the time to actually come back to me and tell me, nah, we're not going to be able to do it. So if Wizard was the big, scary corporation that everybody thought, none of that stuff would have happened. Like, when I first emailed him, he wouldn't have tried to get back to me and like, hey, what's up? Because I'm busy. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. You tell me what's going on. He wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have, you know, even considered the idea, and let alone responded to me anyway. So, like, that he did already made things great. On top of that, once we got to Ohio, he actually came by and talked to me. Like, he remembered who I was. came by and talked to me, and we talked about it a little bit. And I told him, thanks for even taking the time to look at it. I appreciate it. He said, no, he was like, well, it's a really good idea. I'm sorry we couldn't do it. And I'm like, that's what's up. But, and almost in a way of like, not to blame Jesse, but this is kind of the thing that most people do. They hear Wizard and they don't think that they are approachable. They're like, oh, we can't do it. I'm sure if he had talked to somebody, things would have been easy. He would have found out exactly where he could do this, and he never would have had any problem. But that's the way most people, treat it. They're like, oh, it's Wizard, I'm scared, I can't talk to him. Shh. I'm that guy. I will walk in. Like, that's literally how my relationship started with him. I kid you not. This is so bad. I went to PandoraCon, the first year that they did in Cincinnati. Did horribly that Saturday. Terrible. Like, I couldn't even afford to stay down. So it was like, okay, well, we're going to go back, and we're not going to come back the next day. It's just like, not the right crowd. It's more steampunk, not comic book oriented at all. It's not my crowd. So it's just not the show for me. So we left. Wizard World was that same weekend. Like, that was like the first or second year of Wizard World Ohio. I think it was the second. I go, and I'm like, all right, I need to make some money this weekend. I can't not make money. That's not going to work. So Wizards doing their thing. They usually have an after party. I'm going to find out where it is. I'm going to see if I can get a table for them. So I go downtown. We're talking, it's 10, 11 o'clock at night. Sure enough, they're still... So I'm good, right? Like, yeah, I'm getting them. I'm like, so who do I need to talk to about getting a table for tomorrow? They're like, oh, you need to talk to Joe. Or you need to talk to this guy. Or you need to talk to this guy. I say, okay, so I find a guy to talk to. And I'm like, look, I'm a local creator. I was at another event, but I'm back in town, and I'd like to exhibit at the show tomorrow. I said, what do I got to do to get a table? He said, show up. I said, done. I'll see you first thing in the morning. He said, okay. Shook his hand, walked away. I'm feeling like $1 million. I'm like, I just walked in here and was like, hey, what do I need to do? He's like, you show up. I said, cool. First thing in the morning, I'm talking like 8:30 in the morning. Show don't open until 11. I'm there. What's up? What's happening? He said, oh, yeah, I remember you from last night. He said, here, da-da-da-da, let's do this. That was my foot in the door. But it was all because I had the gumption to show up and ask him. Like, hey, can I get in? He could have said no. That's fair.
Sounds like me.
But you wouldn't know it if you didn't try.
Right. And there's something closed mouth never gets fed. So that was my thing. I'm like, no, I showed up and I asked him. And now I have one of the best relationships ever. For you, I do it for 10. All of them? All of them for 10. I can buy it. But yeah.
No, I said, he got money.
I'm sorry, that was right there. This is my interview. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Hey, you gotta make your money, man.
Money's important.
And the most important thing is, you gotta sign it.
I will do that. I don't have any pens though. You
I got it. You know I got it.
Good, man.
You know, man.